to you and hopefully to give you some, not just inspiration on today, but kind of share my testimony a little bit with you. I can tell you I've been asked before within my professional setting why I do not use the title of doctor, even though I have an advanced degree and etc. And I shared with them briefly is because I never like to have individuals feeling like they may be less than or don't feel good about themselves. And I had to reflect upon that a little bit because impartially me not sharing the title does not give glory to God the way that I feel that it should be given to him. So for instance, when I was younger, I was dubbed to be in special education classes, and I had someone to come along and refuse to allow for that to happen. And they worked with me in a manner, in a way, and taught me how to access different things and to be able to process in a different way to where literally it flipped the tires and I became what some people would call very intelligent and just had the wherewithal to know a whole lot of things. So I choose to say doctor now because it's a testimony every time I say it to where I came from. My family knows this and everybody knows this. Why is this important? Today I'm talking to you about something that I think is critical in this day and time. That is being able to realize and recognize that life has challenges and there are things that comes against us as people that it seems so hard and tough. And it seems like it can be some things that can count us out as far as being successful and becoming who we can become. But I'm going to talk to you today about being able to identify some key elements that's going to help you to be able to thrive and become who you've been called to be. But first of all, there's something I got to tell you. If you're someone that like excuses, like the confidence that comes with it, like the comfort that comes with it, this may not be for you. But if you're someone who's trying to figure out how you're going to be able to surface what God has given you, this is going to be right on for you. So today, what I want to talk to you about is what a lot of people ask about, and that is motivation. You know, how do you stay positive when it seems as if no matter how much you try, you ultimately fall or you don't fulfill or accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish? I would like to start out by saying, first of all, when you say motivations, you have to go to the root word of motivate, right? Or even further, motive. So my first question to you would be, what is your motive behind why you want to be successful? And whatever success look like, that's for you, whether it's finishing college, whether it's working with your family, whether it's growing higher, whether it's attaining positions, wealth, or whatever you want to call it, we'll let that be your success. But what are your motives? I've heard different speakers talk about, the importance of having a motive and sometimes putting a motive into people in terms of you want your family to do better and you want things to happen. And I can get with that. That makes sense to me. But I want to ask you, what are the internal, intrinsic things that is motivating you because you want to surface them? Because trust me, there are going to be days while you're pursuing to where it's going to seem like you make one step forward and 5 steps back. But this is how it works. If you do nothing, you automatically go back. So it may appear that you are making 1 forward, 5 back. But that's 4 and you're still moving forward. But if you're doing nothing, it's like making 5 or 6 back, if this makes sense, if the math is adding up. So one thing that I would tell you to do, first of all, you have to realize what your motives are. Why are you doing what you want to do? If you want to feel better about yourself because you can know you can do it, have that confidence, those are all great things. Something that I can tell you that I know some people use as motivators and it helps them, I say go with it. I tell people just to be careful because it can be fleeting, and that is to prove people wrong. I don't do what I do every day to prove people wrong. I do what I do every day because I want to prove myself right in terms of what I believe and what I believe that the Lord or God has told me that I can fulfill. And if that's the case, what I have to do is I have to keep a focus and begin to start saying that, you know what, this is what I want and this is why I'm going after it. And guess what? I'm up for the task. God has prepped me for the task. And God, I'm grateful that you're not just giving it to me because I don't want stuff given to me, because when you just pay attention. Many of you know you're going to have family members, children, or you're going to know people who things have just been given to them and they can't appreciate it. And that the story that comes along with the struggle is an amazing thing. So I want to share with you. Earlier, I was talking about how, I have this advanced degree, a doctor now, and et cetera. And I share what my upbringings were. And one thing that I'll tell you that a lot of people don't know, while I was going through the process of receiving my degree, I experienced what I call the trial or the process like nobody else's trial. I literally woke up one day and after looking in the mirror, heard the light voice of the Lord, "Do you trust me?" And I didn't like how it sounded. And sure enough, days and weeks after that, I experienced a sickness in the body, sickness in the mind, sickness in the spirit. I felt forsaken. I felt like I couldn't make it the next second. Listen to me. I felt like I couldn't make it the next second. And that lasted no less than making it to the next second, no less than 3 or 4 months. And when I look at the whole process in its totality, you're talking about something that lasted over 3 years. But while this was going on, I would sit at my computer and write on my dissertation when my head was just all over the place, when I felt like I couldn't make it. Why? Because my motive on the inside, because I had to do this. And as it relates to being in ministry, many of you know I'm in ministry, I would yet press in, or I would yet go into places, pray and believe and do music and everything, because I was doing it on faith, because I believed somehow that God was going to bring me out, even though it was the worst, the most horrific thing that I felt that I was going through. And so now on today, over 3 years later, me done graduated, me being successful, as some people would call it, in the career, me loving what's happening in ministry, I'll tell you that everything that I've experienced have worked together for my good. It does not feel good. And sometimes I shudder when I think about everything that was going on and the things that I have to deal with on a day in and day out basis. But I tell you what, I can stand, and I can stand rejoicing and saying, "Lord, you brought me out and you brought me through, and I'm grateful. And Lord, I don't know what you have on me on tomorrow, but I'm grateful for what you did on today. And my motive is yet pure. And my motive helped me to get through." Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? So if you're listening to me, take some time to sit back and think about what your motive is. And work on the motive being strong enough to help you during the hard times, help you during the lonely times, help you during the frustrating times, help you when you feel like an absolute failure. Help you through those times. And trust me, if you start with working on that motive and get a motive that is worth, it's going to help you to move to the next place. So this is brief, and I hope you've enjoyed what you heard. And my heart's desire is to inspire you, encourage you, because I believe you have what you need to get where God's trying to get you to. You just need to discover what that motive is. All right, have a wonderful day.